The thoughts, opinions, and general overall shade thrown on High at 9 News are those of the individual speakers and not those of High at 9 News, its audience, or its advertisers. The statements made do not constitute medical, legal, or financial advice, and for advice tailored to your specific situation, please consult with a licensed professional. Welcome to the High at 9 News Hour, where you will hear from cannabis industry experts and professionals from around the country talk about important topics while shining light on global issues and discussing cannabis as it relates to politics, regulation and reform, data and technology, science, research and medicine, family and parenting, art, celebrities and entertainment, fitness, sports, mental health and wellness, and plant-based medicines and entheogenics. Together, we are building a stronger community, fighting the stigma and creating change. With your hosts, Jason Beck and Rico Lamitte, joined by special industry expert correspondents from around the country, and daily antics brought to you by Cannabis. Coming to you live every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and high noon on the East Coast. And thank you all for getting high at 9 with us. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. That's right. It is Monday, September 23rd, and today is National Family Day. Yeah. It's also National Teal Talk Day. It's supposed to wear teal, you guys. It's National Snack Stick Day. National Great American Pot Pie Day.
That sounds like a good day.
National Checkers Day. Can you rewind this, please? National Checkers Day. It's also Dogs in Politics Day. What you know about that?
I'm going to keep my comment to myself, Jason. Mm-hmm. Too early.
Restless
They're
legs.
eating the dogs.
They're eating the dog. Oh, man. Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. It's also Restless Legs Awareness Day. Thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us every Monday through Friday. It's 9 a.m. and high noon on the East Coast. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us on all social media platforms. You can look up above or down below to see exactly where we live on the internet. And we are live every Monday through Friday on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and on our very own website at www.highat9news.com. So welcome to everyone joining us from any one of those platforms. But kicking it off today, that's right, we have the dope dad himself, Mr. Rico Lamitte, the Quasimodo caretaker, the happy cabbage specialist, and the dope dad dancer. That's right, it is Rico Lamitte.
We got Rico on mute.
You're on mute, Rico.
Thank you. I was a little concerned about my shirt. It is more brown than it is green today, so that's good. I thought it was gonna be a floating head, but
a true talking head.
And yet you wore it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a little drum clap to that one? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole band. So, speaking of floating heads, this one's a little juicy, y'all. So strap in. Let's talk about New York cannabis. So
God damn it.
New York social equity chief announced that he will be stepping down in November, 3 months after being cleared of allegations tied to a lawsuit claiming retaliation and abuse of power by him and his office. So how'd we get here? And who's next to lead New York's embattled card programming? According to Brendan J. Lyons of Times Union, Damian Fagan, the chief equity officer of New York's Office of Cannabis Management, plans to resign in November following an investigation that cleared him of allegations related to application interference and retaliating against a cannabis processor. The state inspector general's report found that the allegation that Fagan had interfered with the retail license applicant's processing was not investigated because the complainant declined to be interviewed and refused to provide any additional information, and the additional allegations were unsubstantiated. Fagan had been on leave since March as the investigation proceeded, and despite the findings, his resignation comes amid broader scrutiny of the OCM, prompted by complaints about licensing issues and leadership problems within the agency. The report did note an incident where Fagan made comments about regulatory violations in the industry that were considered imprudent, but did not violate any OCM policies. Additionally, the $5.6 million lawsuit filed by Jenny Argy, owner of Jenny's Baked at Home, a licensed processor, manufacturer, and distributor, alleges that OCM officials retaliated against her for speaking out about regulatory violations, leading to significant harm to her business. The investigation highlighted issues within the agency and has contributed to a leadership shakeup following the review ordered by Governor Hochul. In a nutshell, for those of you unfamiliar, Jenny Argy called up the OCM to complain about illegal operators in New York and to snitch on legal and illegal businesses selling out of state products. Where else are you going to get these California gluts? You got to export them. She received a call back from the equity chief himself, Damian Fagan. Fagan basically told her, everything's fucked up right now. We don't have the resources to shut down all the trapping. Also, if we begin these raids that you're calling for, I'm most likely going to have to shut down half of New York's industry, and these good people are just trying to do what they can to survive at this point until we can get fresh product from New York on their shelves. Little did Fagan know, Argy was recording the conversation. Smart move on her part. I do not think that is legal to record anybody in New York or California without their consent. But I don't know. Dale's not on with us today, so we're just gonna let that one hang until
it's a two-party notification state that it's illegal. Yes,
but the fact that this is within the government, there might be carve-outs there where it is admissible in court. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll leave that one later hang because I don't want to give any bad legal advice there. But all right, so a short amount of time passed. New York began cracking down on out-of-state products, mislabeled goods, and shops selling them, and non-compliant operators as a whole. Guess whose business was first to be found non-compliant and shut down? Jenny's Baked at Home. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Argy's company was accused of using a non-toxic solvent extraction method that did not list the process's ingredients on its label. A recall was issued and her products were pulled off shelves. So Jenny got her shit together and rightfully sued all they asses along the way. She had to shut down all operations, furlough staff, and had nothing to show for all the work she'd put in up to that point while the New York industry actually began rolling. While the case was playing out in court, the OCM quietly approved of the same damn extraction method she was being shut down for and now defending in court. Hochul's goons at this point had taken over and cleaned house at OCM. Fagan was ultimately exonerated with no witness stepping up to support the application interference charge, and that Jenny Argy's complaint was warranted, but no OCM rules were in place at the time that would merit damages. Damn. All this went down 3 months ago, and Fagan's saying he's out this bitch now, leaving right before the holidays. It's New York cannabis, y'all. While I empathize with the chief over not wanting to snitch on folks just trying to feed their families, you got a job to do, bro. This lady had a legitimate claim and lost everything that she worked for just for doing what she believed was the right thing to do. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of this one, as they curiously left out the story or any sort of resolution tied to Argy's $5.6 million. Oh, the legal game has different rules, Mr. Fagan. If you want to be a man of the people, maybe top government positions are not the right place to be. Ms. Argy, if you are expecting everybody to play by the rules, maybe a federally illegal industry ain't the right place to start your business. You can call Argy a snitch, or you can call Fagan corrupt. Either way you look at it, New York cannabis took a major L on this one. I'm Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High at 9 News. What are y'all thinking?
I'd like to correct myself first, because New York is a one-party notification state, so it was perfectly legal for her to record that conversation. So I wanted to say I'm wrong and correct that for everybody.
Oh, look at that. Look at
Checking out the Google machine. Has New York ever had a win yet?
In cannabis?
It's a big L, right?
Just the trap.
Define win.
The trap stays winning out there.
I would say
the trap is winning for sure
right now.
I mean, I mean, this sounds just more like what we see in New York on a grander scale, as far as like a vindictive government targeting different people and going after their political enemies.
I'd say that's all government, Jason. I wouldn't say just New York.
Just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Rico. And I think, this is interesting. I don't ever encourage Jennies to snitch, but I will also say that I do understand that, she was trying to protect her business. I just don't think you have to attack other people's business practices to protect your own. Maybe make better at-home edibles. Maybe, everything that starts at a kitchen table isn't the best in cannabis, but who knows?
Right.
I actually am not mad at this guy. I don't know. I'm not. I get it. It's corrupt, but I'm not mad at him. I was like, oh God, it's really tough because I want to side with my fellow Jenny, but I can't here, sis. What the hell are you doing, Snitcherella?
Yeah, I understand she's trying to run her legal business and everything, and I also understand he's trying to make sure people can feed their families when they had 2-year-old flower that was just sitting there and they had no product to sell at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, game's all fucked up. It was all fucked up. I just don't think.
Maybe Jenny should have busted a cold show up at Hall of Flowers because there were a ton of New York distros represented this year.
Allegedly.
They posted about it on the internet. That's how we know. Allegedly.
New York needs to just start over again. Right? I mean, everything they've done failed.
That's true.
Literally.
That is true.
Throw the whole industry away.
It's just failed.
What would that look like, Todd?
What's that?
What would that look like if they started over?
No, who knows what it would look like?
And so
it would be a mess. First of all, they should get some industry professionals, on the commission. Oh, that would be a good start. Create rules based on the good rules that are, operating now around the country.
And so this guy is resigning, right?
Yeah, he's resigning in November, like right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I want to know which New York company is about to hire this man because shout out to you, good sir.
Right.
I think he's resigning because there's some shady shit that's going to come out.
Yeah, this fucking phone call, but he was actually being a real one.
He could have resigned when this shady shit came out on him right here, but he didn't.
He's admitting that he's not doing his job and he's not actually going to try to shut down people that are selling product that shouldn't be sold in the New York market because he understands that trap or die, dog, and they were going to die. So I get it.
And he's a third-generation cultivator, just like Yarrow. So, maybe he's gonna get back to his own business. I don't know, but probably.
This is what happens when we do have operators at the top regulating. They're like,
this is what I said. Like, if you are a man or a woman of the people, when you get to a certain level, you gotta play by the rules, man. You gonna get caught like this guy did. So. I don't know. Good luck to him.
Good morning, Yarrow.
Morning.
So nice of you to finally join us, Yarrow.
How does my lighting look? Because I can't get any of my lights to turn on.
That's all production questions. If you want to ask those questions, Yarrow. You can get in here earlier.
Oh boy, you look wonderful, Yarrow. Jason's on one.
You just have to take a pick at the top of the tree, and the sun will shine in there.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a commercial. We're gonna be right back.
The Control Tower from Highly Educated has perfected the dab. Utilizing the concept of thin film evaporation, you can waste none of it and taste all of it. The micro texture of the SE pillar increases nucleation at elevated temperatures. And with the tower propelling at 2,600 RPMs, it's certainly the most efficient dab experience to date. The Control Tower from Highly Educated.
Oh, yeah, y'all know who is coming up next. He is the defender of all things 45. He is the man who is on standby to take JD Vance's place as soon as he's ready. He is the highest Republican in any room that he walks into, and he leaves a cloud of smoke when he leaves. Jason Beck.
Crowd goes wild.
Oh boy, Rico, man, I'll tell you what. Trappers, beware, you guys. That's right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's right. Because Telegram will now hand over your phone number and IP if you're a criminal suspect, you guys. That's right. Telegram will now turn over a user's phone number and IP address if it receives a request from authorities according to its just updated privacy policy, you guys. That's right. If Telegram receives a valid order from the relevant judicial authorities that confirms you're a suspect in a case involving criminal activities that violate the Telegram terms of service, we will perform a legal analysis of the request and may disclose your IP address and phone number to the relevant authorities. What if they're using a VPN, though? How's that going to work? Anyways, the adjustment is the latest change Telegram has made following the arrest of Telegram CEO Pavel Durov last month, who French authorities charged with enabling illegal activity on their platform. Exactly.
You turn quick.
Yeah. In a post on Telegram, Durov says the company is making these changes to, in quotes, deter criminals from abusing.
I think they threw pea soup at him.
The app's search function. Telegram's search feature allows users to look for public channels and bots, but Durov says it's been abused by people to, in quotes, to sell illegal goods. In another quote says, we've made it clear that the IP addresses and phone numbers of those who violate our rules can be disclosed to relevant authorities in response to valid legal requests. Durov wrote in a post on his Telegram channel, we won't let bad actors jeopardize the integrity of our platform for almost 1 billion users, he says. As spotted by 404 Media, Telegram's law enforcement policy previously only applied to terror suspects, saying if Telegram receives a court order that confirms you're a terror suspect, we may disclose your IP address and phone number to the relevant authorities. Interesting, you guys. Telegram also says it will disclose whether it provided user information to authorities in its quarterly transparency reports, you guys. Look at that. They're going to have some transparency reports. And Telegram's lax moderation policies have made the platform a popular spot for criminals. A recent report from the New York Times uncovered thousands of channels with ties to terrorism, child sexual abuse material, drug trafficking, and extremism, you guys, they say. Along with changing Telegram's privacy policy, Durov says moderators are using AI to identify and remove problematic content from the platform's search engine. Earlier this month, Telegram changed its language surrounding private chat moderation, and it also disabled the misused button and people nearby feature and paused media uploads to its anonymous blogging tool, Telegraph. As Telegram attempts to reverse its shady reputation, it will likely make even more changes to the platform's approach to illegal content and moderation, you guys. Well, it sounds like Telegram is turning into Telesnitch, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Hey, 48 hours in jail really shook his ass up, huh?
Here's the thing. Like, the majority of people using Telegram were not, your chats were never encrypted anyways. Less than 2% of the users on Telegram even knew how to turn the end-to-end encryption on. So chances are a lot of those messages out there, they're out there, right? So quick Google search, Telegram's a majority of Telegram users, less than 2%, likely do not use end-to-end encryption because it's not enabled by default. Telegram standard chats use server client encryption, which means Telegram can read messages even though they're encrypted between the user's device and Telegram servers, which means if they get subpoenaed, guess what? You are exposed. You have to be an expert to know how to turn on these, turn on end-to-end encryption, which most Telegram users are not.
You mean they're... Whew.
Yeah. And the biggest thing it says in the group chat, there is no way to do end-to-end encryption if you've ever engaged in a group chat on Telegram.
So that means that all y'all's candy small sales are all out on Telegraph for the world to see. Is that what you're saying, Rico?
Gavin Newsom's coming for you.
Oh, boy. Jackasses.
Everyone's just going to move to WhatsApp, right? I mean,
The signal.
let's move. Just going to lose all of their drug trading customers.
FaceTime.
First of all, I wasn't a big fan of the whole Telegram trapper thing anyway. Like, you should have to go out and trap the old-fashioned way like we did, run some roads or something. But
I totally agree with that. Anyone that trusts any of these third-party messaging applications and thinks they're secure and thinks they're whatever is just an idiot, in my opinion.
100%.
Right, these people are that run these companies, man. They got billions of dollars at stake. They are going to flip so quick.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I think it was really just crazy how he went from being a real one and flexing that he wasn't going to do this, that, the third to
Well, I see it a little different. I see it a little different. I don't think he went from being a real one to a flipper flopper. I think the French authorities asked him to cooperate in their understanding of the app, the technology, what was going on, and he thumbed his nose at them, so they arrested his ass on the tarmac. And then he became very different in his approach to interacting with authorities. And I think had he not chosen to do that, had he not disregarded their request, we probably would have seen a third lane, which would have been something that doesn't look like this, which appears to be a direct result of them arresting him and having him go to court on a Sunday morning. So I think somewhere between ridiculously non-strategically defiant and flippy floppy cooperati, there probably was this third lane where they could have just been a tad more transparent and a lot more cooperative.
Yeah, I think he was shooketh. I mean, I think we're agreeing here, Yarrow. I guess maybe there could have been a world where he could have, given them a little bit of information and not, throwing the whole baby in the bathwater out. But
because they didn't arrest him. They didn't arrest him for what they alleged. They arrest him for a lack of cooperation. And that, I mean, you don't see Zuck doing that with Congress. They trops him out. He gets that little weird haircut done up, goes there, puts on more than a hoodie, and jumps through hoops. And so if that's the cost of being a tech billionaire, I like that a lot better than being arrested on the tarmac.
Fair enough.
Yeah, dude's shady as fuck too. Let's keep it a buck. Right? Like if when this whole thing came out, I started looking into his background and everything. He's from Russia, got kicked out of Russia, but somehow he wasn't.
Enough said.
Yeah,
right.
He got kicked out for trying to start a Telegram app over there, but he hasn't been killed yet. But and just launching this shit over here, there's a lot of question marks behind this dude, and I don't know. I wouldn't be on this guy's tech platform thinking that my chats are safe.
I mean, anyway.
Well, Russia's usually not like, please just leave. They usually do a little bit more than should have you to see yourself out.
Yeah.
What does Telegraph even do that you can't do on every other social network?
People have channels where they trap on it allegedly, and maybe post their menus and their pictures, their little candy smalls, and their Deppy Deps.
People do. It's not.
I mean, I've heard. I don't know.
I've witnessed them. There's tons of them.
You just go ahead and incorporate yourself, sir.
I'm fine. I don't have no problem with that. It just is what it is. That's what people are doing, living in a false reality with all this alleged.
And I think that's not the biggest. That's not the biggest fucking issue. The biggest issue is there's people, probably selling kids and guns and actually doing acts of terror on there. I mean, I don't think that the candy smalls epidemic on Telegram is the biggest concern.
I agree with you on that. The one thing that I do find interesting is that their original terms said only alluded to terrorism. It didn't allude to child sex trafficking or anything, and I think that definitely should have been included under the terrorism portion.
Wait a second. You can get a kid there? Get a kid? On Telegram?
Probably get you a baby by Tuesday, Todd. I don't know.
Easy.
Yeah, no, I don't want one.
Easy there.
I don't want one, but I'm just...
Yeah, Madonna, Brad Pitt, all of them. I gotta get them somewhere.
Get a grandkid, and the best thing about that is I get to give it back.
Oh boy!
And what a lot of the news outlets are missing here is dude became a French citizen in 2018, right? So you gotta abide by their rules regardless. You going to jail, buddy. So
the French are famous for fighting the cops. If you guys are bored one day on YouTube, just Google French citizens fighting the police. It's fucking spectacular.
They still, you saw, if you saw any of the Olympics, right? You saw they're still celebrating cutting off their damn queen's head. So, they are notoriously anti-establishment to a degree, but the French authorities is Europe, man. In Europe, I just assume that everybody's under socialist rules and nothing is safe, and you're always going to be being watched out there.
And there's been plenty of terror attacks in Paris as well. It's been a target a ton of times. So I could see France not playing so much when they feel like something is a matter of national security for them.
I mean, none of these governments give a fuck about personal liberties and all that blah, blah, blah when it comes to protecting their country or their perception of what it takes to protect the country. They give this guy citizenship. He flaunts the request to cooperate. They tag his ass on the tarmac. I mean, what did he think was going to have? I mean, he literally got a participation prize. He fucked around. He found out money is not the same as power. And now he's back to being a good little citizen, cooperating.
Yeah, and he's also a citizen of the UAE and also a citizen of
like a Caribbean country that's cheap. Yeah.
St. Kitts and Nevis. Like, this guy's shady as fuck, bro.
Delete Telegraph, right?
Yeah, I've never been a super fan of Telegram. I've never understood why everyone's so enthralled with it, but whatever. You know what I mean? We'll see. I bet you no one stops using it, but whatever.
I mean, it's marketing. It's the same as all those right-wing memes that you see online.
No, it's not. Not even close to
pushed by the Russian government.
Stop your ridiculous propaganda.
Why are y'all still talking about shit?
You are the propaganda piece. Yeah.
Why? Because marketing, and you see it enough, you believe it.
You are the propaganda piece.
Propaganda.
Speaking of propaganda, we're going to roll right into Miss Jenny Beth Dills. She has that southern twang and here to tell you a thing or two about yourself and more. Here to educate you with her company Kind Cannabis, as well as just to serve to 501c3. It is none other than Miss Jenny Beth Dills.
Good morning. That's one way to cut him off, Jason. Yeah, thanks. All right, so this one's wild because LAPD done fucked up, y'all. I'm going to tell you how. In a startling legal case emerging from Los Angeles, a lawsuit has been filed against the LAPD accusing them of maliciously raiding a medical imaging clinic under the mistaken belief that it was a marijuana grow operation. This incident, which took place on October 18, 2023, resulted in significant damage to an MRI machine at the NoHo Diagnostic Center in North Hollywood. The lawsuit alleges that LAPD narcotics officer Kenneth Franco identified the clinic as suspicious due to its higher electricity usage. Could be the MRI machine, I don't know. Tinted windows and security cameras. These observations led him to conclude it was an illegal cannabis cultivation site. However, the suit argues that such characteristics are typical for a medical facility which requires substantial power for equipment and has privacy measures in place. Seems reasonable. Despite this, Officer Franco obtained a search warrant and conducted a raid during which the clinic's only on-call employee was detained. The lawsuit claims that officers carelessly damaged the MRI machine, emphasizing that the damage was not incidental, but a result of unreasonable and/or recklessly indifferent conduct. The suit seeks damages for violations of the Fourth Amendment, naming the City of Los Angeles, the police department, former police chief Michael Moore, and Officer Franco as defendants. It accuses Franco of intentionally making false statements to secure the search warrant. Interestingly, the raid revealed no illegal activity. The lawsuit highlights how officers, while searching, ignored warning signs about the MRI's powerful magnetic field. One officer inadvertently allowed his rifle to be pulled into the machine, leading to an emergency shutdown that caused extensive damage, including the loss of approximately 2,000 liters of helium gas. Legal representation for the NoHo Diagnostic Center is being handled by Hack Yogahoan, of YMPK Law Group. I know I butchered that one. As the case proceeds in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California, both the clinic and the public await responses from LAPD representatives who have yet to comment on the lawsuit. This case underscores significant concerns about police procedures and the potential for costly errors, drawing attention to the balance between law enforcement actions and constitutional rights. Can't wait to see this one unfold. I wish Dale Schaefer was here to say he wants to see LAPD get spanked, but I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Seems like you could have just raided some of those dispensaries that have the signage outside instead of having to guess about this medical operation. But hey, who knew?
How does that even happen? So ridiculous.
Ignorant.
Ridiculous.
California is ridiculous.
Fuck.
The thing that's challenging is if a high electrical bill was the sole probable cause, without looking at what the name of the real business was, or the fact that medical imaging devices are probably massive power hogs. I just don't understand what was the impetus for the raid. What was the
windows were blacked out, and there were cameras, and they were using a lot of power, Yarrow, which all seems like reasonable things for medical imaging, right?
It does.
Sure does. Why don't they walk in the door and say, "Hey, what's going on in here?" instead of raiding them and destroying all their shit? Why don't they just say, "Hey guys, how's it going? We're the local cops. Just hey, what's up with the black windows?"
Mm-hmm.
He could have killed himself. He stuck a freaking rifle into an MRI machine. He could have killed himself.
I love that. I love that part. I love the fact that they just tore up the MRI machine. You know how expensive those are? And we're paying for that. Y'all can't get shit off the middle, off the sidewalks here in LA, but y'all destroying medical offices.
Yeah, they're looking for weed inside the MRI machine, bro.
Yeah. It's like somebody was trying to be a tough guy. Somebody was trying to get a gold star, and they're like, "Look what I got, boss."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what they're doing to the informant that tipped him off about this location?
Yeah, they stuck the MRI inside instead of sticking him inside the MRI for sure.
Maybe they're
getting whacked with a phone book right now.
Maybe they were testing for heavy metals in that MRI.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. Yeah. That's a ticket.
I mean, this is almost like so insane. It has to be like, Officer Franco, who did you not like at the medical imaging clinic? Right. Who owns the clinic that pissed you off? Is this an HOA dispute? Like, what's going on? Because there's no way that this fucking happens and a judge signs off on a warrant without this man. I can't wait to read the rest of the case and see how egregiously he lied to get this warrant signed off on, because a simple Google search will tell you what.
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't find a whole bunch of ketamine over here at this clinic.
I make a motion that law enforcement, while on duty, has a maximum caffeine consumption of 1,000 milligrams per 24 hours. This guy just had like 5 Monster Energy drinks in the morning, skipped over his ice bath and his daily meditations, and got to business.
This guy's like, fuck MRIs.
I'm just picturing him like in a Kyle moment, punching a fucking hole through the wall and then kicking the door in. Wow. Way to go, sir. You get the Moron of the Month award.
God, I hate MRIs.
You can get them cheap on Telegraph, though.
This is LA's finest right here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, this is where our tax dollars are going, y'all. This is why the taxes are so damn high in this city, and this is where all the money that should be going to retailers is going to stupid ass raids like this.
Good news is nobody was shot, right? I mean, usually somebody's shot.
Yeah, but the poor MRI machine, bro. The poor MRI machine, the whole little R2D2 got dismantled.
I'm just saying, there's a good thing there weren't any black people there, because this would be a murder story.
Oh, whoa, bro. Stop the ridiculousness, Todd. That's crazy. We're going to a commercial.
Wait, hold on. Are you alleging that there's still racism in America?
We're going to a commercial. We're going to be right back.
I'm Cole Preston, and today I'm at Blue Island Beer Company for the premiere of my mini documentary on legalization policy in Illinois. I've been following cannabis policy since colorful Colorado legalized it all the way back in the day, and when my home state of Illinois decided to legalize it, I just became enamored. I wondered, what would it actually look like? If you'd like to see how Illinois fell short in achieving meaningful reform in their cannabis policy, you can watch my mini doc now at colememo.com/minidoc.
We're back.
Great. Welcome back.
Stop what you're doing.
That's right. Thank you, Rico. Stop whatever you're doing. Make sure that you hit that like button. I know we'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. And YouTube will appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And all of the articles that we cover on today's show will be up on our website in just about an hour or so.
I just ordered the summertime strawberry salad when added steak on top here at Anna's. Make sure you do the same thing too next time you're in downtown Long Beach. Come on down and check out Anna's joint on the 400 block of Pine Street. They have amazing selection of beers, foods, and when you come down here to Anna's, you can even challenge me to a game of shuffleboard if you want to lose. Did you get that? So, next time you're in downtown Long Beach on Pine Avenue, make sure you stop by Anna's Joint on the 400 block. Not only do they have Anna's Joint, this restaurant and bar, but they also have the amazing deli next door, and then next door to that they have a very exotic flower shop. You may want to stop by and say hi. And we're back. You with us, Rico? Did you drop off? You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, y'all. Up
go.
next is the second-generation cultivator and founder of Special Teams Consulting, known to many as the Sebastopol Sage. This mysterious character might be under your desk. He might be living inside the willow tree on your yard. But today, he is live. Coming to the stage, y'all know who it is. Yarrow Kubrin.
You can find me not on Telegram, and please don't stick your rifle in my MRI. Good morning, good morning. It's Yarrow Kubrin, Tuesday, September 24th. Thank you, High at 9 viewers, for tuning in. Don't leave, Jenny. I'm just starting. I made this magazine this article hyper local. Got you. No coffee break while I riff, ramble, and rant. This article is from Mendocino County. And maybe this is just a tiny sliver of good news. So without further ado, from the Mendocino Voice, I will skip over the parts that aren't applicable. Published hot off the press yesterday, the Mendocino County Board of Supervisors will hold its regularly scheduled meeting this Tuesday at 9 a.m. at the county office in Ukiah. That means it's happening right now. The docket is a proposal for a countywide noise ordinance. We don't care about that, as well as a reduction in the cannabis business taxes for year 25 and 26. So let me skip through the noise ordinance stuff. I don't think you guys are really worried about that. You're more in tune with the noise that comes from me. The board's agenda is a proposed ordinance to reduce cannabis operators' business taxes for years 25 and 26. The ordinance would be applied to cannabis cultivation and nursery operations. I think there's a few other license types up there, buddy. Reducing the required tax by 40% for tax year 25 and 35% for tax year 26. This would be a substantial reduction for many cannabis businesses that paid a flat rate of $2,500 in taxes according to the original cannabis ordinance. So I can go on and on and on. There's a couple other things. I don't really think you care about it. This is a hyper-local little online rag. But I thought it was worth pointing out Mendocino hasn't done a lot right in regards to processing permits or even keeping step with some of the scale of the cultivation permits with its neighbor, the county due East Lake County. However, 40% is a pretty significant bite out of those taxes. It seems like that's more than just optics. I thought I'd bring it here for you guys to know about first and hear what the rest of my guests, pundits, panelists, and cohorts have to say and think about this morning.
So they're imposing a noise ordinance in Mendocino County where like the neighbors are like 1,000 feet from each other or more.
It does not apply to your pontificating about your preferred party of politics.
It probably only applies to Area 101. They're like, Tim Blake, stop throwing them damn parties up there.
Those damn parties are super fun. Count me
They
down.
are.
I'm in for all. So, yeah, there's a noise ordinance, which I think really kind of aligns with some of the things we already see in adjacent counties. It's not uncommon to say no construction or motorized tools after a certain time and before a certain time. But the tax reduction, while probably too little too late, 40% is not a little shave here. It's not a little trim there. It seems like it's a substantial move in the right direction. And it also, to me, seems like an acknowledgement by the county that in respects to their cannabis program, they've shit the bed so many times they're going to need to do more than just change the sheets.
So it's more like just a line.
Say that again, Rico.
I'm confused. I'm confused by
You know,
this story.
you get edged up, you know, just a little touch up and give you a line up front. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
It's more than just a little cosmetic touch up.
Yeah.
Correct. 40%.
I'm sorry. I'm the only black person, black male, excuse me, on the day. No, but does this ordinance cover the helicopters too? Tell these cops to get these helicopters out our skies.
Not at all.
Of course not.
You know that doesn't do that. I'm confused. I'm confused by this. So
Two-tier justice, right, Jason?
Really, the headline should read, Yarrow, that Mendocino County gives the cannabis industry a huge tax break, but instead the headline reads that they impose a noise ordinance on cannabis businesses. Am I correct on this?
No, you've got it conflated. There were a number of items on the agenda for the Board of Supervisors, and this article just lumped them all in and covered what was on the docket. The noise ordinance applies to all and any businesses, has not yet been passed, and is nothing revolutionary. In fact, I live one county south, and we have things like that here, so it's no big whoop. The tax reduction, unfortunately, doesn't apply to all license types within the regulated supply chain, but is a substantial reduction as expressed as a percentage for the next couple years. The downside is it doesn't affect this year. It's not more lasting, and it doesn't apply to all license types.
So what license types does it apply to?
Cultivation and nurseries.
Cultivation and nurseries. Interesting. So they get a 40% tax break.
40% 2025 and 35% 2026.
Well, we'll see how many of them last to last that long.
Right.
To be able to even get that tax break.
Yeah, we'll see who's still around by then.
Jeez, these guys.
Yeah,
Any kind of tax break is a good tax break.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
not
There's
if you're
no
around
such
to take
thing as a
advantage
bad
of it,
tax
Todd.
break.
Yeah. What's that?
Not if you're not around to take advantage of it anymore.
Well, of course not. I mean, so you're saying it should go into effect immediately?
It should be in effect immediately.
Or retroactively.
Right.
I like the retroactive idea. Yeah.
What's the current tax rate up there for cultivation? Flat rate. It's a flat rate of 2,500. Is that what?
Too much percent.
I'm checking right now.
I think
Gavin Newsom putting that hemp ban immediately while they have these tax breaks immediately. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I think HDL and Tony Soprano came up with the tax structure up there in Mendocino County.
Really? Because I'd say it was the unions.
No, there's I don't think it's a highly concentrated union environment. I mean, the previous industrial underpinnings was logging, and I don't even think logging ever was.
That was a big union.
Unionized.
That was a big union.
Logging and fishing.
Yeah, I could definitely see. I mean, as many subsidies as logging industry has, I could see that being part of the deal that they're not allowed to.
All right, it's not that bad. So
this is.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, sorry. Effective April 28, 2023, cannabis cultivators and nursery operators engaged in business in the unincorporated area of the county shall pay a reduced business tax of 1.25% for tax years 2022 and 23 and 24. So they're paying about 1.25%
of gross receipts.
Yeah, gross, not net. And that's the killer right there. Simone touched on it. It's not how much you take in, it's how much you get to keep. And they're getting taxed on how much they take in. The thing that comes up for me is this almost is like, you know, that amazing warrior that went into battle, served his country, died on the battlefield, and like 15 years later was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. Like, that's what this tax break is in Mendocino, because it's posthumously that we've seen such a degradation and meltdown and diminishment of the number of operators in that county, holding it up in a legacy region with their limit of a 10,000 square foot outdoor canopy per parcel, that these breaks are not enough and not quick enough. And so I don't know that it changes the way history is going to look back on this sad chapter and the unintended or intended impacts of legalization.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I'll take any kind of reduction. We're paying 2% on gross in LA, and that's insane. Like, I run it every month for the distro. It's 2% on gross, and that's a lot of freaking money, you guys. Like, so. Sorry, Rico, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, do you think that the people that you're talking about, Yarrow, Donald Trump would call suckers and losers?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a commercial. We're gonna be right back.
He'd grab him by the kitty.
Oh man, that was weird. Hey, you America. Do I look like Sean Connery? Good morning, America. Saman Razani coming to you live from sunny Los Angeles, California with the one and only highest host, Mr. Jason Beck, smoking on the best weed in the world. Did you know that we have an audio-only version of our podcast? You can find it on Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. No excuses in 2024. If you haven't checked us out, check it out now. And also, check out what the Prophet's doing in 2024.
And we're back. And we are back. Coming up next, it's the man with the golden voice from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's the founder of Digipath Labs, as well as the Smuggleverse, where you can buy all of your digital dank. That's right, it is none other than Mr. Todd Denkin.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, team. Well, we were talking about everybody's favorite governor, Gavin Newsom, and he is in my story today. So, Newsom's controversial hemp THC ban approved and, like we mentioned, effective immediately. Governor Gavin Newsom controversial emergency ban on all hemp THC products in California was approved by the Office of Administrative Law on Monday afternoon, effectively shutting down a thriving product category within California's cannabis industry. Retailers will no longer be able to sell popular products like drinks made with hemp THC, an intoxicating cannabis compound, and many types of medicinal products made with CBD, a non-intoxicating compound. Emergency rules are effective immediately, meaning hemp THC products are now illegal across the entire state, according to a copy of the regulatory action obtained by SFGate in a records request from the Office of Administrative Law. Newsom has argued that lax rules have allowed underage youth to access intoxicating products. He filed emergency rules earlier this month to completely ban them. The hemp industry has said that Newsom administration was abusing the emergency rulemaking process to pass the hemp THC ban, and that banning hemp THC would have disastrous effects on medical patients who rely on hemp to treat a wide range of health conditions. The Office of Administrative Law agreed with Newsom, writing in the order signed Monday that the emergency rules are, quote, deemed to be an emergency situation, not like the tax laws up in Ukiah, but here in all of California, deemed to be an emergency situation. Ban on hemp THC will be effective until March 25th, 2025, right around when that tax break happens. That's weird. Newsom's hemp ban has caused outrage in the medical cannabis community, with families panic buying thousands of dollars of hemp in anticipation of the rules going into effect. Ani Goldstein, a Los Angeles medical doctor, previously told SFGate that Newsom's hemp ban could leave at-risk patients sick or even dead if they are unable to buy the hemp THC that's been providing life-saving effects. U.S. Hemp Roundtable, a national trade organization, vowed earlier this month to challenge Newsom's emergency rules in court if they went into effect. He said, "We strongly believe that his action violates state and federal law and have filed complaints to that effect today. What they're specifically talking about is, number one, this is not an emergency. Governor Newsom may wish to ban hemp products, but he hasn't done anything in 3 years since they have been legalized. The legislature has repeatedly blocked his efforts to ban hemp via statute. This is an end around the California legislature and standard regulatory notice and comment procedures. California Department of Public Health clearly violates state law in filing emergency regulations. Not only do they completely fail to prove an emergency, they missed the window for banning hemp products on an emergency basis. They also state that the California Department of Public and Health clearly violates the law, which defines hemp as 0.3% or less delta-9 THC on a dry weight basis. They said they strongly agree with Governor Newsom that hemp products must be robustly regulated and kept out of the hands of children, but his action goes much farther, banning nearly all hemp products for purchase by adults, including most non-intoxicating products, even products that are manufactured in California but not intended for sale to California consumers. Adults should be able to purchase all adult hemp products with the same manufacturing, safety, and age restrictions as applied to intoxicating products, such as Newsom's own Pump Jack wine. They say they are hopeful that the Office of Administrative Law will agree with their clear and convincing case and reject these emergency regulations. If not, they will be prepared to go to court, and they say they plan to win. I'm Todd Denkin with High at 9 News, and what do you think about Mr. Newsom ending intoxicating hemp sales and non-intoxicating hemp sales in California? What say you, Californians?
This is Newsom being Newsom. I think he's still pissed off that Kamala Harris got the nod and not him.
Yeah,
after that debate.
This is just so wrong because, as you stated from the article, Todd, that they missed the deadline to be able to do this under emergency ordinance, and they're just doing it anyway, and they haven't shown any true emergency or been able to demonstrate that. And this is.
Just trying to stay in the news, man.
Trying to stay in the news. That's what I was going to say. That's exactly
the other
right.
part, the other part
of stay relevant.
The other part of it is, where are they going to be able to get the enforcement dollars to enforce on this?
I'd like to point out that they're also shutting down the opportunity for the cannabis beverage brands that aren't selling in the cannabis license market.
Great point.
They're the ones that have pivoted into these liquor stores and whatever.
That's
true. So it's literally you're actually hurting the people that you're trying to protect like normal. Like
that
usual.
Is true. That is
so
a good point.
Nothing new here, people. Nothing new here, people.
The beverages just lost a whole bunch of retailers.
You know, I think Newsom watches me on High at 9 News. Now, I don't know if he watches me in his bathrobe or in a three-piece suit, or maybe just while counting the bubbles in the jacuzzi. But I've been saying on this show that because of the lack of age restriction and potency maximums, that at some point something terrible and tragic was going to happen. Some teenager was going to walk in front of a semi-truck, get splattered all over a freeway, and then politicians were going to do something. So I think Newsom is preemptively trying to do something that looks like he's doing something, so that when something bad does happen, he can say that he was forward thinking and got in front of it. Now, the problem with what he's done is the toothpaste is already out of the tube. The genie's out of the bottle. You can't do this and expect that it's going to have more of an impact than me covering it on High at 9 News, because it's not going to change what happens on the streets. It's not going to change business as usual. And to Todd's point, where are the enforcement dollars going to come from? So he's going to put enforcement dollars into this that could have been put into something else, so they can get their little photo ops the way Mayor Eric Adams is doing on the other side of the country. And at the end of the day, all that cannabis and hemp needs is parity. Less regulation in cannabis, a little more regulation in hemp, equal playing field, and let's start regulating cannabinoids according to whether they're intoxicating or non-intoxicating. The challenge that I have is that Newsom, with his little blue ribbon panel, blah, 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 going around before we even had 64, Newsom understands this theoretically better than most governors and has some really good advisors. And if this is the best that we can get out of him, it doesn't seem like he's really put much time into thinking about what an equitable, sustainable solution would be that prioritizes safety, low-cost cannabinoids, and increased access. Big fail.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
he's busy working on his campaign for 2028.
This is the thing. Is like, this is so ironic, because you basically have the mayor of New York and the governor of New York grandstanding to close down all the illegal trap shops on the right-hand side of the coast. And on the left-hand side of the coast, you're going to have Gavin Newsom doing press releases of all these CBD shops and beverage retailers that they raid to take these products off the shelves, and doing press releases coming up pretty soon. So that's going to be very interesting to watch.
Jason, Angeles, we're going to move all the flavored vapes out of the way before they take the news photos of them taking the CBD out, since that worked out so well.
You know,
Los Angeles Police Department busts warehouse with 5,000 bombs, all bubble up.
Did it say anywhere how they're going to stop people from ordering the shit online?
Have you tried to order? So, like, once again, on Amazon, I tried to buy some light bulbs from my old place that are no longer legal in California, but it's the kind they fucking installed in my building, right? Mm-hmm. And they would not ship it to my address. There are certain things that are, like, kind of gated depending on the site, but I mean, I'm sure there's still ways around it, right? I could have hopefully got them somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well.
We'll find a way. I think the trap will win again.
Yeah, they will.
Well, he made the hemp trap. He created the new category.
Yeah,
California hemp trap.
he's like weed's doing so well in the trap. Let's do the same thing for hemp.
Right.
Poor little bomb. Poor little illegal bomb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, pretty soon he's like, hey man, you got them CBD bath bombs?
Exactly.
You got those? I'll take
It's the hemp
pallet.
trap, aka Bevmo.
Yeah. Let's see if Gavin Newsom ends up in these puffy videos.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Exactly.
What about hemp infused baby oil?
Would have retired already.
Yeah,
Right?
Rico, let's roll the Saman.
I had another.
Stop, Jenny is hurting my side. You don't understand.
I had another puffy joke on deck. We'll save that one.
Can
for
you
tomorrow.
not be funny today? You have no idea how bad this hurts.
I'm sorry. Do you want
All right, up
some
next.
hemp bomb for it?
Oh, Rico, go with the one on deck.
Yeah, go for it, Rico.
Up next, he's a fellow dope dad and a 15-plus year industry vet, award-winning solvent extraction pioneer, currently focused on helping menopausal women say hello.
Hello again.
Hi again. It is none other than Saman Razani.
I love that one.
Thank you. Big shout out to all the menopausal women around the world that are about to get relief. Hello Again has just sold, so we will see what happens.
Congratulations.
With the proliferation of the suppositories. So
Did you say bye to hello again, Simone?
I didn't say bye. We're still saying nice to see ya. Whatever.
Open it up. Open it up.
Well, congratulations, Simone, on that.
Much love to my beautiful partners out there. Much love to all you beautiful humans. I've got a great story today from our very dear friends, Bill and Jeff Levers, the Beer Bros Media. We have a story today about what's happening in the deschedule movement. Deschedule, not reschedule rally, December 2nd. Very important date. Mark your calendars. What's happening? On December 2nd, 2024, we are rallying at the DEA Museum, 700 Army Navy Drive, Arlington, Virginia, starting at 8 a.m., with assembly beginning at 7:30 a.m. for what will be the most historic cannabis hearing ever on rescheduling from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act. We are demanding full descheduling, not rescheduling, to ensure equal access and address the historical injustices of the failed war on substances Act. We are demanding full descheduling, not rescheduling, to ensure equal access and addressing the that was written twice. Prohibition has led to discrimination in housing, healthcare, and the legal system, denying millions access to its well-documented therapeutic and proven medical benefits, despite minimal health risks. With 43,654 comments submitted on the Federal Register for the DEA scheduling proposal, 70% in favor of descheduling, not rescheduling, and undeniable evidence of deception, like the recently uncovered recordings of Nixon placing cannabis on the CSA for political gain. It's clear the tide is on our side. We need the people to show up. So show up, December 2nd. This is the DEA Museum March, 700 Army Navy Drive, Arlington, Virginia, December 2nd, 2024, 8 a.m.
Sick.
I don't know if that's me. That's like blurry.
Yes.
You are faded.
Certainly is.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
a little,
sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
got something going on over there somewhere.
Clean the makeup off the back of your iPhone, Simone. Happens all the time.
I am on the actual thing. I just maybe it doesn't like my face today. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's racist.
Something
Maybe you should
going
click autofocus.
Oh, there we go. Better.
There we go.
So the problem with rescheduling cannabis will shift control to big pharmaceutical corporations and the federal government, such as the FDA, both which have historically opposed legalization. This would harm small businesses and local growers, exploiting patients while prioritizing corporate interests, like everything else in our country. It perpetuates a system that creates the illusion of progress, maintaining penalties under the CSA. What does descheduling help? Veterans. Full descheduling allows veterans to use cannabis for pain and PTSD without federal restrictions from the VA. Very important. Cannabis parents. Protects parents using cannabis medicinally, protecting their children from federal investigations by Child Protective Services. Nonviolent cannabis prisoners, which most of them are. Provides a pathway to justice and the release of those in prison for nonviolent cannabis-related offenses. Patients with chronic illnesses. Ensures affordable, unrestricted access to cannabis, empowering patients to choose effective treatments without corporate exploitation and federal barriers. Minorities. Addresses the unfair treatment of communities of color during the war on drugs, or during the drug war, and seeks to rectify its disproportionate and harmful impact on historically targeted and marginalized groups. What can you do? If you care about this issue, join us. We owe it to those who suffered beatings, incarceration, and lost lives to ensure no one gets left behind. Organize with local advocacy groups, arrange charter buses, mobilize your network, make donations, reach out to media outlets, and let's demand for justice. Urgent deadline alert. To participate in the hearing, you must submit a notice of intention by September 30th, 2024. Very important. You only have a week to do this, people. You can request to attend without obligation, but it's wise to express your intention now rather than later. Here's how, and there's a link here in the story. I know we'll post that link up. Jason, I'll leave that to the crew.
Well, it'll be in the website. They can find it in the website. Yes.
Yep. Everyone who's interested in this, please, submit something and show up. Definitely. You have to send a PDF attachment via email to nprm@da.gov. Send that no later than 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on September 30th. Mail your notice to the Drug Enforcement Administration Attention Administrator, 8701 Morissette Drive, Springfield, Virginia, 22152. Again, all this information will be on the site. Just look for it, find it if you're interested. And there's various other things that you should do. This is an important event. This is huge, and I'm really proud of Bill and Jeff for organizing this and their teams that they have that are helping them. This is probably one of the most critical moments in the future of how cannabis looks in our country. If you've been smoking weed for the last 30 years or whatever, the future does not look the same for us. And I'll be presumptuous and say that it's going to be harder for us to be able to maneuver and consume than it was before if we're totally in a rescheduled kind of situation. And little by little, they will start taking down the fabric of what we've developed over the last 15 years. So
nobody needs to take down the fabric for you because you can barely keep it up behind you for your green screen, right? But I do appreciate the Beard Brothers, because they literally are the ZZ Top of cannabis. They're just the ZZ Top of the green crop. They also brought on that guy Brian, who has, I think, done a really good job amping up their social media and presence. Anytime you pick a good cause, you've got the wind at your back, and these guys or the wind at the back of their beard. And these guys are really making sure that they're using their platform to promote some places where people can put a little bit of effort into trying to make a big change. It'd be interesting to see how many of the High at 9 viewers go on the website, look at that, send their little PDF. I've already got mine partially drafted. It'd be great if all of us could sign it like High at 9 or High at 9 viewers or higher at 9 than you, motherfucker, or whatever we wanted to do, just to show that, we are watching, we are paying attention, that we recognize democracy as a participation sport. And so thank you for bringing this article, Saman.
Thank you guys for listening.
Look at that.
Thanks for being you. Thanks for being American.
That's right. America.
Yeah. D's, not Rees.
D's,
yeah,
not
just
Rees.
Make sure that if you're interested, go support, go show love. Hit the donation button on Beard Bros website and, be a part of this community, be a part of this movement, because this is the most critical time of all of our histories and all of our, our years in this business collectively. It all comes down to this. Don't let the government win, because I promise you, this will be the last chance we get for something like this.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. That is for sure. Without a doubt.
And it's in Arlington. Shout out to Arlington, Virginia.
You know, I thought, when he said the mailing address, I thought he was going to say Ohio for a second, Rico.
Springfield.
Yep. Springfield, Ohio. They're eating the cats.
Yeah, it's either they're going to eat your cats or they're going to
eat the dogs.
Yeah. Any updates on that? Any updates on that, Jason? We still talking about that?
What's that? They're still eating the cats and they're still eating the dogs.
Still eating the dogs.
Yeah.
Bye, you guys.
Did you see that guy? Did you see that guy? The performance that he did at some venue. It was incredible.
Yeah. I'm saying, is there any updates on that eating the cat story out of Springfield, Jason, that you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's lots more updates on that. That's proven.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So they start smoking the dogs.
Find out about that. About the whole
happening.
girl who started that thing. She apologized. And it started the Proud Boys marching through the streets and all those bomb threats in Haitian neighborhoods because it was a lie.
Oh,
you don't want to talk about that?
Stop it. Stop the
Yeah, talk about that propaganda I was talking about earlier. People say enough shit online. They start parroting it. Next thing you know,
it's not. I don't think it's parroting that. There's a lot of people in these rural counties and cities that do not like immigrants, bro. That's just America. Like that. Yeah. That's not like that.
It's just America, made from immigrants.
It is.
Like immigrants.
It is. That's an American thing, but that's definitely a global thing. But it's an American thing to like have it be a melting pot of all the immigrants, and then for people to like hate immigrants. That's a very American thing, guys. It's
it's a hatred for the other. That's what it is.
For the other man and the brother man.
People fear what they don't understand.
Yeah, I was about to say that people hate what they don't know.
Yeah. And speaking of which,
most people what people hate about you is really what they hate about themselves.
No, they hate me.
That's a whole nother level of hate, Todd.
It's projecting.
Yeah,
it is projection.
All projection.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to say that this is why I do the research on my shit, and I'm not afraid to say when I made a mistake. That's what we should all learn a little humility, because real people can get hurt in situations like that.
It's true, man.
They're still eating the cats.
So I keep it so positive and so lovely over here, guys.
Yeah, man.
Take forever to roll it once. I'm patient with it.
It is what happens when you smoking that K2, you smoking that spice like they are in Ohio. You might start hallucinating and thinking people eating cats. And it's in fact you're just caught on Telegram reading messages sent by Jason Beck. I don't know.
God.
Rico, there was a picture of a guy carrying a goose. All right, so there you go.
I can show you guys.
The goose got hit by a car. That's what happened to that goose, right? But there's a picture. They're eating the geese. They're stealing the ducks.
Yeah,
they're eating the dogs.
I will say though, like the craziest shit ever is that like in New York, I have a good friend. They closed his kids' schools. Like they closed the school down, and they they're housing migrants in the school, and now the kids can't go to school. They're forced to do some like homeschooling program, and it's like, that's fucking crazy. That shit's crazy.
Hey, you know what? Move to a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean,
everyone's got the freedom to move.
In New York City, I guess that's fucking rough.
Yeah. Thanks, Shady.
Speaking
you can teach the migrants. You can teach them.
Speaking of moving,
train them,
Rico,
and let them live there. They're already at school.
Right along.
Jason's getting
they're better.
I figured you guys would like that. You could teach them English right in the school.
No, their English better be impeccable coming out of that motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care. They better be perfect. They better know how to do grammar better than me. Okay.
Well, that's not a tough part.
Our education system doesn't teach our students grammar good enough. So this
well enough. You could tell.
Grammar well enough. Grammar well enough.
Whatever.
Well enough.
You guys didn't even get the joke. I'm glad you guys.
Did grammar good enough.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us for yet another episode of High 9 News. You can catch us live weekdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, high noon on the East Coast. Big shout out to our super fans showing love, getting their comments posted live on the big screen. Do we have any?
No, not today. Not today. No Wagyu today,
I'm hungry.
bro.
I'm so hungry.
Starving like Marvin.
I need some Wagyu chips.
Wondering
man.
like Stevie Wonder.
but also all the online supporters catching us across all media platforms live, tuning in each day to the headlines of chaos, also known as the developing cannabis industry. Also, big shout out to our vetted correspondent team tuning in from all over, bringing this much needed variety of perspective and your respected opinions to the table. Our production team, Cloud Media Partners, holding it down. All the sponsors, keeping the lights on. AV struggles to a minimum. We got Millie, we got Adam in the back.
We got Adam in the building today.
Oh, can we stop the cap, Adam?
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
There it is. As always, Cannabis Sativa L, the reason why we show up to read these stories every single day. Thank you, too. It has been Tuesday. Talk about it. Tuesday, September 24, 2024. And the show is over. You've all been blessed with top industry headlines. Hope it's enough for you to put in your pipe and smoke at least until tomorrow. My name is Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street for High 9 News, America's #1 daily cannabis news show. And today we're going to pop things right back out to the man who helped menopausal women press play. Something like his doppelganger that's locked up right now, Saman Razani.
Easy on that. Easy with that, last man. I don't want to be affiliated at all. Let me tell you something about affiliation, folks. You better get down with the right group, or else you're just going to be in Diddy's dungeon. Okay. So.
Sorry about the deal that fell. I'm sorry about that deal that fell through. Saman no longer. They canceled that large order of suppositories to Beverly Hills.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that was a special anti-inflammatory version that we were making.
Yeah.
He was having a geriatric party.
Emphasis on the
Cherries. You guys.
Much love and respect, people.
Funny.
Oh, Jenny's back.